What's up, guys? Today we're going to be chatting about my absolute favorite new makeup that I've been trying out recently, and these are things that I would rate 5 stars, so I can't find one single thing that I don't like about any of these. And I have a mix of makeup, some skincare, I have hair product, and I have some high-end and some drugstore. So there's just like a really good mix of stuff in today's video, just the best of the best. So why don't we go ahead and jump right in and get started. All right, so first let's start out with this little palette. I don't hear anybody talking about this, but I saw this. I got an email from Beautylish a couple of weeks ago, and they had some new Viseart palettes on their website. And I like Viseart's formula a lot. I think especially the matte shades are just like some of the most blendable that I have in my collection. But this one really spoke to me so much. This is called the Fleurette Amour. And it's actually a face palette, and look at how small this is. It's gonna be amazing for travel. So let me just show you guys what this looks like up close. It comes in like the little folded over style palette. It has a magnetic closure, and it really fits in the palm of your hand. So again, great for a travel bag. And when you open this up, it has 4 eyeshadows and 2 blushes, and I just loved the cooler tones that were in this palette, the pink and the purple. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. I knew right away that it was a little bit more on the unique side because A, I don't have a lot of colors like this in my collection, and B, I definitely don't have them in a small little travel friendly palette like this with the blushes included. So I just thought that was incredible. And I also love that you get not only the purple shades, but you also get like the brown and that other duochrome that has kind of the greenish brown shift to it, and the coral blush. So you can do something all purple like I did today, or you can use the bottom row of the palette and do something like a little bit warmer. But even this brown, I don't really think it's necessarily like a warm brown. This is definitely more on the cool tone side. And I used this brown today for my outer corner, and then I used the light purple in my crease and then the light purple shimmer on my lid. But this duochrome shade right here, it has like that little bit of warm brown behind it. So I think you could easily pair this with the brown. You probably could even use the blushes as eyeshadows as well. I did use this purple one just to deepen up my crease a little bit. So I just think this is such a fun, versatile travel palette, and I just can't get enough of these colors. These are my thing. I love colors like this. So yes, Viseart palettes are a little bit more on the expensive side, but the formula is so blendable. I haven't taken out my Viseart palettes in a while, and when I used this one this week, I was just like, I need to take those out again and play with them because I just had the easiest time doing my makeup. Even this deeper shade did not get patchy in my outer corner. It just blended out so effortlessly. So I love this. I will definitely be taking it on my vacations this summer. Next up, I also got one of the new shades of the Dior Rosy Glow blushes. I do like my original Rosy Glow. I have actually both of them, the pink one and the coral one. So I got the shade Berry, and this one looks very deep purple when you look at it in the pan. But I've been getting so into purple blushes lately, and the reason for that is because sometimes I'll get a pink blush and it looks like a cool toned pink in the pan, but then when I go to put it on my skin, it starts to turn orangey, and that's happened like even on video. Sometimes I'll put on a blush and I'll say, oh, this looks like a pretty cool tone pink, and you guys are like, it looks peachy to you on camera, and then when I look at the footage back, it definitely does. And so I've noticed that if I wear a purple blush or a pink that has a purple undertone, it tends to look more cool on my skin than something that's just like a regular pink, because I think a lot of pink blushes have some peach in them, and then when you put it on the skin, it turns a little bit warmer than you want it to. So when I saw that they came out with a purple, I was like, okay, I definitely want to try this, even though it looks dark in the pan for me. The only reason I figured it would probably work is because the original Rosy Glow blushes are very sheer. Like the pink one, I have to build it up and build it up just to get it to show up on my cheeks. So I was betting on the fact that this isn't as dark as it actually looks in the pan, and it's definitely the case. So let's just take a close-up look at it really quickly. So you have this really deep dark purple if you're just looking at it in the compact, but then when I go to swatch it, again, in a heavy swatch like this, it is gonna look a little bit darker. But watch what happens like when I pick it up with a fluffy brush, like I would be applying it to my cheeks, and then I apply that next to the heavy swatch. You can see that this is definitely a wearable color for somebody who has a fair to light skin tone like I do. It really is the most gorgeous blush ever. And again, I know that this is super expensive, so if it's not in your budget, I do have something that's a little bit similar to this. It's not identical, but I've been enjoying this one just as much. And this is another purple blush. This is from L'Oreal, and it's their new Infallible Fresh Wear blushes. Now, I've talked about these in several videos already, so I don't want to go on about it too much. I did a video where I applied every color to my face, so if you'd like to see that, I will link it down below. But this one is also a beautiful purple blush. It looks really dark in the pan, and this one is a bit more pigmented than the Dior, so just keep that in mind. You need to go a little bit lighter with this one. And it's also not exactly the same color as the Dior. This one has more pink in it, but because it has that pinky purpley undertone, this also does not turn warm looking on my skin. It stays looking really beautiful and really pink. So again, blended out, it looks really stunning. And once you actually blend them out and apply them with a brush, they don't look a whole lot different from each other. So if you don't want to spend the money on the Dior one, I think that the L'Oreal is a really good alternative. In fact, I kind of like the formula of the L'Oreal one even better. It's a little bit more velvety and soft. I would say the only downside is that it's a little bit more pigmented. You just have to be more careful and don't apply too much. But otherwise, I'm really, really loving purple blushes right now. I do have more makeup to get to, but I wanted to talk about the skincare product because it just completely blew me away. And I bought this after seeing two of my favorite skincare YouTubers, Graceful Beauty and Penn Smith Skincare, talk about this product. So this is from a brand called Dermalect, and this is their Self-Esteem Beauty Sleep Serum. So this has 3 really active ingredients in it. It has glycolic acid, which is an alpha hydroxy that's going to exfoliate the top layers of your skin. Then it has salicylic acid, which goes deep down and kind of cleans out the gunk that's in your pores. And it also has L-ascorbic acid, or vitamin C, which is going to help lighten and brighten dark spots on your face, which I definitely have a lot of. I have a lot of sun damage. But one thing that everybody who have seen review this product talks about is that even though it has a lot of actives in it, that it didn't give them irritation. And I'm somebody who definitely has had irritation from L-ascorbic acid before, and even glycolic can sometimes bother me a little bit. But this has been formulated in such a way that it just, like, all the ingredients work together really well. The first night that I used this, the only thing that happened was I felt just a tiny, barely there, like a little bit of a tingle. The second time I used it, which was a few days later, I didn't notice anything. So I've been using this now for a couple of weeks, and I have to say this is one of those products that you notice a difference the very first time you use it. I felt like the next day my pores looked so much smaller, and just my skin texture overall looked a lot smoother. After using it now for a couple of weeks, I almost feel like because my pores are just more cleaned out and they've kind of snapped back to their original size, and my skin doesn't have the roughness and the bumpiness that it had before, it almost kind of takes on like that really smooth glass skin effect. And in the morning when I wake up after using this, it feels like velvet. My skin just glows and it's so soft. So this is definitely a must-have product for me, and it's something that I know I'm gonna keep repurchasing, especially because when it comes to skincare, I love to use something and then see results right away. I hate waiting like 30 days. And with this, like I said, my skin was just so much smoother and softer, and it looked brighter, and I noticed a big difference in my pores, and just the overall texture of my skin improved so much. Not to mention that Dermalect's products aren't super like ridiculously expensive. This was, I think, either $42 or $45, and they always have sales going on their site as well, so I'll make sure to link everything down below. But a lot of drugstore skincare and serums now are in like the mid-20s to $30-something range. Then a lot of the serums at Sephora are like $80 to $100, so I feel like a price point in the $40 range really isn't bad, especially for what good this does for my skin. I would pay a lot more for this. So it did get a couple of other products to try out as well, but I feel like I have to try them longer to be able to tell you about results. This one works pretty much immediately. This other one, the Get Lifted Instant Facelift, I feel like this kind of works immediately in the sense that it has like a tightening effect. I believe that 2 of the ingredients this has are manuka honey and egg whites. So it has that tightening effect to your skin. And I noticed that when I use this serum, my makeup goes on really smoothly, and for the day, I have less fine lines on my face, so it definitely makes everything look a little bit smoother. But this also has peptides and ingredients that are supposed to work on your skin over time. So for that reason, I'm just gonna have to use it a little bit longer before I make up my mind. But I do like the instant like tightening effect that this has. I also got their upper lip treatment. So this is to kind of like soften the lines that go above your lip right here. Again, I haven't seen any results with this, but it's something that works more over time, so I'll be sure to let you guys know. And the last thing that I got was the Empower Anti-Wrinkle Treatment. This is a moisturizer, and this has Signal multi-peptides. It has argireline, which is supposed to be the Botox in a bottle that's supposed to relax your facial muscles. It has ceramides, amino acids, and I believe it also has a little bit of retinol in it as well. So far, this hasn't bothered my skin. Retinol can sometimes be really harsh for me, but so far so good. I love all of the other ingredients it has, so it's just kind of like an anti-aging powerhouse. So they just seem to have some really amazing products on their site, and like I said, the prices aren't too bad, but I highly recommend the Beauty Sleep Serum if you try one thing. So far, I've just been so super impressed with this. I will also wanted to mention though that you probably shouldn't use this every day to start out with, especially if you have drier skin. I've been using it twice a week and it's perfect. So anyway, I highly recommend this one. Definitely check that out. Next up, I also just wanted to shout out again the Moira Powder Foundation. I know I did talk about this in a video already, but I would absolutely rate this 5 stars. I've been using it so much lately. This is made in Korea. The powder is so unbelievably smooth on the skin. I'm wearing it today, so my face looks a little bit more matte than it usually does, and I normally like a little bit of a glow, but it's been so humid here and so hot. I don't even want to really wear like a liquid foundation that feels kind of heavy and sticky. So I've just been reaching for this because it's so quick and easy. I just take the puff, go all over my face. It has amazing coverage, and it really doesn't look powdery sitting on my skin, even though my skin is on the dry side. I'm somebody who never wore powder foundations in the past, but this one just looks so good. And being over 40, I also want to make sure that I'm wearing things that aren't going to settle into fine lines or pores, and this doesn't. It's so smooth and finely milled. It just kind of glides over everything, and it almost gives my skin like an airbrushed effect, which is just amazing. So I highly recommend this. I know a bunch of you guys bought this after seeing my original review on it, and I've been getting so much good feedback from all of you saying that it's the first powder foundation that you feel like you can really wear and that it looks good on your skin. So that makes me so happy to hear that you guys are loving it too. I believe this is around 20 bucks, but I also have a 15% off coupon code for Moira, so I'll leave everything linked down below. I also wanted to mention quickly the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. I talked about this in my last video, and I showed before and afters, and I was really impressed with how pore smoothing this is, especially compared to the original putty primer that was in the jar, which I didn't really like. I just felt like it didn't smooth my pores enough. This one I feel like is a really great dupe or alternative to the Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas. I think that's probably what they were going for, and I like this one just as much. It has a very similar feel. It has a creamy texture that my dry skin really loves. I don't feel like it's overly greasy, so even if you're more on the oily side, you'll probably still like it, but I just felt like the putty primer in the jar wasn't hydrating enough. I think this has a little bit more hydration than that one does. So I really like this. I know I did get some questions from you about whether I prefer this one or the L'Oreal Studio Secrets primer, which has always been my favorite. I do still like the L'Oreal one a little bit better. I think it's just better at smoothing the pores than this one, but this is a very close second for me, and the L'Oreal one is being discontinued. So I had to find something to kind of replace that. Honestly, I think this is a good replacement for that, and I think it's the best primer that e.l.f. has ever done. So definitely I would give this one 5 stars as well. Moving on, I wanted to talk about these lip balms from Summer Fridays. So I got these at Sephora. I actually started out with this one. So this is the Vanilla Beige, and I wore this in a YouTube short. I remember whatever the video was, I was sitting in my car, I was wearing this, and all of the comments weren't about what I was talking about. There were so many comments asking, what's on your lips? I love your lip color. And I was like, it's just this tinted lip balm from Summer Fridays. I really wasn't focused on my lips in that video, but a lot of you seemed to like the color. And I just thought this formula was so incredible. It's like really smooth. It doesn't have the sticky feeling that some glosses have, but it's also not so thin like a lip oil where I feel like it doesn't hang around on your lips and it disappears too quick. This stays in place for a good amount of time, and even after the shine and the color wears away, your lips still feel really deeply hydrated and nourished. Not to mention each shade smells like what it's named after. So this one is Vanilla Beige. It has a beautiful vanilla scent. Then I got this one called Poppy, and this one, it doesn't smell like flowers, thankfully, but it does have like, I don't know, it smells like a juicy peach or something. It smells like ripe fruit, but it's really good, and the coral shade is beautiful, perfect for summer. And then my favorite one, which I'm wearing today, is Brown Sugar, and this has the most beautiful purpley mauvey shade, and it smells divine. It has this really sweet brown sugar type of a scent. I just love it. I wear this one all the time. So let me just quickly show you what these look like up close. So honestly, the tubes are pretty big for a tinted lip balm. They're gonna last you a very, very long time. They give you 15 grams of product in here, which is really amazing. And like I said, color-wise, they're just so beautiful. Vanilla Beige is like a warm nude color, but when the pink from my lips shows through, it turns into just the perfect pinky beige color. And then Poppy looks really bright when you first squeeze it out of the tube, but because these are sheer, it ends up being just this gorgeous wash of coral, and I love the way that this brightens up my face, but it doesn't look too bright or bold. It honestly looks awesome when I'm wearing warmer tones or when I have a tan. It looks beautiful. And then of course we have Brown Sugar, which is this gorgeous purpley mauve shade. And again, because it's sheer, it doesn't really come off as looking purple on your lips because the natural color of your lips shows through. So I think these are definitely a standout product for me. Rarely do I go back and buy different shades of a high-end lip product, especially when it comes to drugstore. I think lip products are really good. There's so many amazing ones that I tend to not spend too much money. And really, I just meant this to be a one-off. I bought it, I kept it in my purse, but I was using it so much. The next time I was at Sephora, I went back and I got the Brown Sugar one. Then I went back and I got this one. So I just keep buying them because they're so easy. But again, if these are not in your budget, I also wanted to mention a really budget-friendly gloss option that I think is super similar, and that's the new ColourPop Ultra Glossy Lips. They just re-released these. They've reformulated most of their lip products, the blotted lips and also the matte liquid lipsticks as well. But the glossy lips, oh my gosh, these are so good. And I love the blotted ones too, by the way. But they said that they've included hyaluronic acid in the new formula, which instantly made me think of Maybelline's lifter glosses because that's like their star ingredient. And I love how smooth those are, and just like they're really hydrating and plump up your lips. These are like the same way. First of all, I love how they changed the tube. They're like this nice, slim, sleek packaging, and you can see the color straight through, which is awesome. And then formula-wise, these are completely non-sticky. They are so smooth on the lips. They're a little bit thinner and more lightweight, but again, not so much so that they're just gonna disappear on you in like a few minutes. They do stick around, but the hydration that these give stick around even longer than the color does. And I also feel like when I wear these, they just smooth out my lip lines and kind of plump up my lip lines a little bit. They're not a plumping gloss. They don't have tingle to them or anything, so I just wanted to mention that. But I just mean they plump up the lip lines in that they're just so hydrating. My lips don't look dry anymore, and it just has this really nice smoothing effect. They also do have a scent, but it's really barely there. I think it's a vanilla type scent, but honestly, it's hard to tell. I can hardly even smell it. So whatever it is, it's not like an in-your-face thing that you're gonna smell. The Summer Fridays ones, like you definitely smell those for a little bit. They smell amazing, so it doesn't bother me. But when I wear these, I don't really smell anything, but I just love, like I said, how softening and smoothing they are. So I'm so glad that they've reformulated these. I think they've made them so much better. And I actually just picked up 2 more shades on their website. Right now, they're having like 30% off site-wide. So it's a great time to try them if you're thinking about it. These are amazing. Also, as long as we're talking about ColourPop, I did have another product of theirs that I would give 5 stars because I've literally been using this every single day. Like there was a stretch last week where I didn't film a video because like we had a lot of stuff going on, family stuff. It was my son's birthday, we were having a party, like all good stuff. But I just took some time off, so I wasn't really doing my makeup that much. Like I just really wanted a one and done shadow just to quickly get out the door and get get things done that I needed to. So I was using this color almost every single day. This is the Jelly Mud Shadow in the shade Shiny Penny. So this color is a duochrome. It's like a brown. It shifts to green. It kind of looks like a little taupey. It's the perfect one and done color. It goes with almost everything. And the Jelly Mud shadows, in my opinion, are even better than their Super Shock shadows. And I was a huge fan of those. I still am, but I just have been reaching for these so much more because they have this really thin, lightweight feel. Like the Super Shocks are a little bit more creamy and they have a putty-like texture. These just dry on your lids almost instantly and they stay put all day. There's no creasing, no fading. They almost feel like a little bit cooling when you first put them on, so that feels really nice as well. And I'm just so impressed by their staying power. I just dab this on with my finger. Once in a while, I'll take a little brush and just blend it quickly before it dries. And then I just add some mascara. Sometimes I'll do a little winged liner if I have some more time, but these are just so perfect if you're looking for one and done shadows. So I highly recommend these. I have a couple of colors, but I just picked up a bunch more during the sale that had been sold out and now they're back in stock and they're all like these really pretty duochromes. So I can't wait to get those and use them this summer as well. Another skincare product that I got recently that a couple of you guys actually told me about and I had to go find it is the CeraVe Hydrating Toner. So in my last skincare video that I did, I talked about how I use toner multiple times. Like I'll put toner on, I'll let it sink in, then I'll put some more toner, and I usually do like about 3 layers of toner before I go on and apply more serums and moisturizers. It just helps to really lock in the hydration. In the past, I used to just wash my face and then put serum and moisturizer, and I felt like my skin just got dry throughout the day, and I couldn't understand why, until I realized if you take a hydrating toner like this and you just keep patting in these really thin layers and just really like saturate your skin all the way, then your skin never dries out throughout the day and it stays looking really plump and hydrated. So I had used a K-Beauty toner in that video, but I wanted to try this one as well because you guys were all raving about it. So this says it's for normal to dry skin. It says that it hydrates, removes leftover residue, and helps restore the skin's barrier. So it has 3 essential ceramides, hyaluronic acid, and niacinamide, and it's alcohol-free. And I love this stuff, you guys. It's not as thick as the one that I was using. That one's more of like a milky toner, and this one is clear, but I have to say I almost like this one better for the summertime because like I mentioned, it's been so humid here and really hot, and this one is just so lightweight and it really does such a good job at plumping up my skin. And I love that you can just walk into the drugstore and buy this. It's so easy. You don't have to order it online. I think I actually got this at Ulta, but I'm sure you can probably find it anywhere that you can get CeraVe, like Walgreens, CVS. So this is definitely one to check out. And if you have dry skin, try putting it on in layers, like pat it in, let the first layer dry, then put more. I think you'll really love that. Another lip product I have been just loving are these Kosas Wet Stick tinted lip balms. These are so good. I got them at Sephora, and again, this is one of those products that I bought one color and then I ended up going back and getting more colors because I just enjoy them so much. They're a tinted lip balm that has that really melty feel, kind of like the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lips, but these are a little bit thinner than those. So if you feel like those are too thick or too goopy, these are definitely a thinner version of that. They still have that really melty, really hydrating texture with a lot of shine, but they're thinner and more lightweight. So I know some people say the Maracuja ones are just like too heavy and they feel a little bit much for their lips. So if you feel that way, I think you'll really enjoy these a lot more. I think the packaging is beautiful. They have this really nice magnetic closure, and the bluish silver tube are just, they're so pretty. And the colors I got are just so wearable. It's one of those lip products that you can just apply without a mirror. You're not gonna really make a mistake. They're sheer, but at the same time, they still show up and enhance your lips, and they make everything look really smooth. Now, if these are out of your budget, another drugstore option that I think is pretty similar are the Rose Comforting Lip Balms from Wet n Wild. These have that same really melty feel. They have a little bit of like sheer color to them, but they're also lightweight, like the Kosas ones. They're not as thick as the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lips, and they come in really beautiful colors as well, and I think they're around $5 or so. So I do like the Kosas ones just a little bit more because these have kind of a vanilla scent that's really mild. You can't really tell that it's there. And the Wet n Wild ones kind of smell like a mix of rose and also crayons. So it's like not the best scent, but at the same time, I don't really notice it that much. It's not a heavy scent at least. So once I put it on my lips, it goes away, but I do prefer the scent of the Kosas ones. But I feel like once they're on your lips, you don't really notice too much of a difference. I think they're both great. Another product I've mentioned in previous videos, but I wanted to talk about it again because I definitely give this 5 stars, is the Body Proud Smooth Talk Exfoliating Body Serum. So I got this at Walmart. This is an exfoliating body gel, basically, that I put on after my shower. And I just love everything about this. It is amazing and it's so affordable as well. So it comes in this dropper style bottle. Once I get out of the shower, you just put this on. It's like a really thin, milky serum that just sinks right in, and it has alpha hydroxy acids, it has niacinamide, it also has caffeine to help like firm your skin. It smells amazing. It says the scent is botanical and green tea. It does really have this beautiful herbal fresh scent to it. And the reason that I prefer this over like the other creams that I've used in the past that exfoliate, like amlactin, for example. I like amlactin, but at the same time, it smells a little funny, I think because it has the urea in the formula, and sometimes I want a body lotion that's a little bit thicker and richer, and that one, like, it's just okay. It does a good job at exfoliating, but I would rather put this serum on first and then just apply my normal body moisturizer on top of it. So that's what I've been doing, and I absolutely love the results that this gives. It minimizes the KP bumps that are on the backs of your arms, and I get them on my thighs sometimes. It gets rid of all the dead flaky skin. So it's just an amazing, amazing product. I've been using this every other day and my skin is just like the smoothest it's ever been. So I'm really, really happy with it. And another product from the same line, this is actually Hair Proud, also at Walmart, is their Glass Hair Heat Activated Smoothing Shine Spray. So I think this is supposed to be like the Color Wow Dream Coat that you can get at Sephora. It's basically a heat activated shine spray, like they said, where you just spray it onto damp hair and then you blow dry and style. And this just seals in the cuticle. It makes your hair look so soft and smooth. And because I color treat my hair, I bleach it, I get highlights. My hair is generally like a rougher texture, but whenever I use this, it just feels so silky. And I love that it doesn't weigh it down. Sometimes I get products that I put in after blow drying or even before, and because my hair is so fine, it weighs it down too much and it looks greasy. But with this, I just feel like I get a lot of smoothness and shine without the weight or the greasiness. So I think this is another amazing product at the drugstore. It's so affordable and I have nothing bad to say about it. I would definitely give this one 5 stars as well. All right, guys, so that's everything that I have for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this and found a few new things maybe to check out. I want to thank you all so much for spending time with me and watching this video. I truly appreciate it so much. And if you have some extra time and you'd like to check out some more of my content, I'll go ahead and just pop a playlist right up here on the screen and you can check that out next if you have some time. And if you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll consider hitting the subscribe button, and I hope to see you all in my next video. Take care, guys. Bye.